What's going on, everybody? Today I'm be bringing you my review for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 15. This is the second to last episode of Season 9 for The Walking Dead. Next week will be the season finale. I cannot wait to see how they wrap up this season, because so far this season has been one of my favorite seasons. I have reviewed all of the episodes in this season, so if you're new to my channel, go back, check those out. But if you've been watching them since the beginning, then you know that I am truly loving this season. That is one of my favorites. And this episode just continues to show how great this season is. Like, honestly, Walking Dead is back to where it was. Like, every week I am anticipating Walking Dead. I am wanting to see how it's going to go down. I haven't felt that way, honestly, since, I don't know, maybe season 7, so half of season 7. I know season 8 I definitely didn't feel like that anticipation, but this season I truly have, and it's great. But yeah, sorry that this is coming out late. I was working last night, and by the time I got home, I was just tired, and I just ended up eating supper and going to bed. I didn't feel like recording or watching it and paying attention. I just went to bed. So I'm sorry for that, but I got a chance to watch it when I woke up, and now I'm bringing my review. So, I am still sick. If you watch my, I'm sorry for the lack of content. Also, I've been sick all week. Still sick from the way that my voice sounds. So, I am going to make this as quick of a review as I can. I'm still going to talk about the episode, but I'm not going to go in full detail like I normally do. But yeah, let's just dive right in. So, this episode starts off very hopeful with Ezekiel's speech, and him talking about Rick and Carl and the way that they wanted this world to be for the future, for the communities to work together. Very hopeful, very hopeful. While Carol, after the speech, he went and saw Carol, and Carol was like, I want to go out and look for Henry," and and he's like, he basically convinces her to, that he should be the one to go, but he doesn't convince her that well. But by that time, they roll up. Michonne, Judith, Daryl, Henry, Lydia, all of them roll up into the kingdom for the fair. And of course, we got a lot of nice little moments between, Carol and Daryl and their relationship. Carol finally got to see Judith again, and they had a nice little moment, especially with, Carol asked Judith if she remembered her and the king, and Judith was like, "Yeah, I've been drawing y'all since I was little." And then Judith's like, "Your hair's gotten longer," and Carol laughed. I really did love that. It was nice to see, old Michonne back to the way that she was with Rick and Carl when they were alive, before all that shit went down. It's very nice to see her back, because I never liked her character. That's the one part of this season I didn't really like, Michonne being all standoffish. I got it. But it was honestly, from the time jump, it was a very drastic change. And it didn't fit well to me. And then, we got to see, Lydia seeing how the world is. She already saw the hilltop and, babies and this civilization, but she actually got to experience the fair, and it was nice. It opened her eyes even more to, this is what I want. This is how it should be. We shouldn't be out there. She finally, I think it clicked in her head that, it's already been clicking, but it finally just snapped that, everyone comes to realization in this world that people are the most valuable thing. We don't have, walkers are just an obstacle. They're not our saviors, how the Whispers, recognizes it. And, no one is, truly weak. They all have different personalities, and just because you don't follow someone and is as tough as someone else, that doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you useless. And you can, as this season has been going since she's been in it, you've slowly seen that clicking. And I honestly see that, Henry showing around the fair, and it was kind of overwhelming, but also it was very exciting for her. Henry and her confirming that they like each other, and it all snapped, I have a feeling. And so that was a nice little, moments. Then we get to see all the leaders in the theater talking about the way they want to deal with the whispers, and how they need to protect the hilltop. And they all end up basically um, signing the trade agreement, kind of like it was the Declaration of Independence for all these communities: Oceanside, Hilltop, Kingdom, Alexandria. It was a nice moment, especially seeing old Michonne back and talking to all these people that she hasn't talked to really in years. Her convincing Tara that to give Lydia a chance, because all of us, I will always remember this quote. We don't choose where we come from, but we chose who we wanted to be with. And that's a great quote for this show. And everyone has to go through that. Everyone comes from different places. All of these people that shouldn't have ever been together, and cared for each other like they do in this world. This world brought these people together. And, especially all of these people would have never even, blinked an eye at each other if it wasn't for this world. And that quote just, it singles everything for this show. And I love it. I love that quote. But yeah, then you have them go out onto the road, going to Hilltop, and then the highwaymen come and they, show, Michonne and them how they were, these, like, disturbances, and from Hilltop and, wreck and shit like that. They found that, and then they end up tracking that, and, well, their group that they went out to the Hilltop with split off. Daryl, Michonne, Carol, and the one girl from the new group with the bow and arrow that Judith found, she went with them. And we actually found out that her and that other girl with the knives, I can't remember their names, are actually, a couple in this world. But they split up. They went after, whatever, the blood trail and shit like that. And the other people went on to Hilltop to protect it. And while this is going on, because of that wreck, we got this, we saw it in the very beginning of the episode, Alpha, made those people, killed those people, and then took that woman's skin and infiltrated Kingdom. And basically she was, spying on all these people, and she talked to Ezekiel, and, then she ended up going to Lydia in the theater and took Lydia out there and basically, told her that, Lydia was like, all I have to do is scream. These people care for me. All I have to do is scream and they'll come out here and kill you. But I don't want to see you get hurt. And then her mom was like, well, that's okay. You're weak. You're pointless. You were a disappointment. And I'm done with you. She basically threw her away and left. And honestly, after her breaking down, you might think, why is Lydia, cared what her mom thinks of her? Because it's her mom. And regardless, her mom, as horrible as she is, Lydia knew that, but she didn't ever think she'd hear her mom say that. And it's just heartbreaking. It really is. And, then she goes and tells Ezekiel that her mom was in the Kingdom. But then it goes back to Daryl and them, who have ran into the Whispers. They called up. They were killing a bunch of walkers, and then, the Whispers came out all intimidating and, like, big group. And, Beta came up, and Daryl's like, what the fuck, why is he here? Because Daryl thought he done killed Beta. And he's like, damn, knew I should have been there in that fucker's head. But, it was just, you could see it on the look of Daryl's face. And then that was the first time Carol was seeing the Whispers. And I think that is a real eye-opener for them, and seeing how many there are, and seeing Beta, because Michonne hasn't seen Beta. Neither has the girl with the bow and arrow. None of them have seen Beta except for Daryl. And then Alpha. Alpha showed up and was like, no one else has to die. Doing that whole thing. No one has to die, but you need to follow me. Your people will be, backing, And Daryl followed her, and she took him up. And honestly, I didn't know what she was going to do with him. I kind of thought that she was going to kill the other three and let Daryl go. Because in the comics, there's a thing where they have spikes and put people's heads on them as, like, to show. but we'll get to that. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But she takes Daryl and shows him this ginormous herd that they are controlling. And honestly, that is eye-opening. That this is the biggest herd that we have ever seen in this show. It is probably thousands and thousands of walkers. Nothing that Alexandria or the Hilltopper Kingdom could, their civilizations couldn't handle that. And she told him that, we don't want war. He's like, you're not getting your daughter back. She's like, my daughter's weak. I hope that, you can't protect her, but I hope that you're wrong. And she was like, basically, these are our, this is our land. Don't cross into our land or you'll have a war. And she's like, go north to a field and that's where your people are. So, that we finally got to see her say the whole boundary thing and that we will go to war with you. And so he goes to the field, he shows up with them, and they come across the spikes. And honestly, the people on the spikes that they had, they had the highwaymen, they had that old woman that was married to the blacksmith that had taken the Whisperer baby. They had her head on the spike. They had another girl's head from Kingdom that Henry had, asked where, she said, you look lost? Are you lost? They had her head. They had the girl with glasses that was flirting with Lydia. They had one of her guy friends on the spike, and then it showed Enid, which Enid, Enid has been in this show since season 5. Yeah. And she and Carl, I like her and Carl more than her and this other guy. I can't ever remember his name, but they had nice little moments in this whole episode. And I should have known something was off with the way that they were showing her, because they really haven't shown her much since Maggie's really left. But, they showed her and that guy, and she, they confirmed that they were dating, and, he got up and sang with, I'm slipping on his name, but Dan Fogel's character, they got up and sang, and, yeah, it was her head, and then they showed Tara, which Tara had talked about, setting up training facilities across that they can train people and help each other learn different fighting skills from different people from all the communities, which I feel like they're still going to do. But Tara's head was on Pike, and then it showed Henry. And honestly, it didn't show Henry's face until after Daryl jumped in front of Carol and told him just to look at her. And I knew exactly whose head that was. Well, it was either going to be Henry or Ezekiel, but I had a feeling it was more Henry. Because Henry would have, that's going to hurt more people, especially her daughter. She wanted to hurt her daughter. So, yeah, they had those spikes with the heads on the hill that marks their territory. And it shows you how ruthless these people are. And, they, honestly, I don't know how they got into the kingdom and took all these people without being noticed. But they showed them, at the very last thing that happened was Sadiq was actually the only survivor. Because with the group, they took him too. And Alpha left him for him to tell the story. But he told them the story of how the highwayman found them. And all these people, even though they didn't know each other or necessarily knew each other, were from all these different kingdoms, how they gathered together and they still fought back from the Whispers. And, he thought that Alpha wanted them to tell him to tell this story that, you should be afraid of us. But really, and break us apart to how we were with the communities not communicating with each other. But instead, how these people, got together, they still fought for each other, fought for their freedom, and they went out fighting. They did not take it easy. And I loved that speech also. It ended with a great speech. It began with a great speech, and it ended with a great speech. But either way, phenomenal episode. really great tones, really great build up, and a lot of character moments that I've been wanting to see since the time jump the first time. Just really nice episode. And going back to the Pikes on, with the comics, these are the people that they changed. Was normally it would have been Rosita on the Pike and Ezekiel. Those are the two that I know for sure. And I'm pretty sure there's some other big name ones, but they changed it out. So instead of Rosita, they did Tara, and instead of Ezekiel, they did Henry. Which I'm very curious to see how they go about doing Lydia's story now, because in the comics, I've talked about how Carl is the love interest for her, and Carl is still alive in the comics, and they're still together. And but with Henry gone, Henry was filling that place, but with Henry gone, I don't know who's going to take that space. I don't know how they can go about with Lydia's thing, but I'm very curious to see how they go about, how they're going to wrap up this season. But yeah, I really did love this episode. Sorry that this is a little long. I'm just, I get into my rambling and talking about the episode, and it's just the way I review it. At least this TV show. But yeah, love this episode. Great second to last episode of the season. Can't wait for the season finale next week. But I'm going to give The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 15 a 5 out of 5. I really don't have any problems with this episode. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you agree that they should have killed off those people on the Pikes? Do you think they should have gave someone else those places? Do you know the comics? Do you know who should have went out on those Pikes other than Ezekiel and Rosita? Am I right about that? Am I not? But yeah, lots to talk about. Do you like the way that Daryl is being presented in this show? Do you trust Lydia? Do you not? Who do you think is going to become the leader of the Hilltop now? Lots to talk about. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the season finale. And yeah, in the description, I'll have links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages for the channel. You click on over there for updates on personal life, things I'm working on, things I'm thinking about doing. I give little updates about my shooting schedule, work schedule, personal life stuff. So you would know, that I've been sick, that I was working a lot this weekend, and I didn't know if I was going to get a chance to record or not. Just little updates like that, and I go live on Instagram while I'm watching TV and movies and stuff like that, talk to you guys, do reactions to certain things. Just a lot of fun. I also notify y'all when I go live on PlayStation, on YouTube, from PlayStation, when I'm live streaming gameplay, which I'm probably going to do later tonight. But yeah, lots to get to know me about down there, so follow me over there. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, because it really does help me out. Also, show it with friends, family, everyone that you know, and any people that you don't know. And hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.